The serene Christmas Eve of 2002 in Modesto, California, was irrevocably shattered by the disappearance of Lachie Peterson, a beloved and radiant woman who was 8 months pregnant with a son she planned to name Connor. What began as a frantic search for a missing mother-to-be swiftly morphed into a national obsession, as the initial portrait of a perfect suburban life began to crack under the weight of suspicion. The investigation immediately turned its gaze towards her husband, Scott Peterson, whose account of a solitary fishing trip to the Berkeley Marina over 90 miles away struck investigators as a hollow and incongruous alibi for a man whose wife had just vanished. His demeanor, described as curiously detached and performatively grief-stricken, only served to deepen the cloud of doubt that followed him from the very first day. Beneath the surface of a doting husband, a devastating secret was unearthed, providing a powerful motive for murder. Detectives discovered Scott was deeply entangled in an affair with Amber Frey, a massage therapist he had met just weeks before Lachie vanished. To Amber, Scott had meticulously crafted an elaborate lie, presenting himself as a wealthy and married man who had tragically lost his wife and was free to travel the world. In a chilling juxtaposition, phone records proved that while he was whispering sweet nothings to his mistress, he was simultaneously presiding over baby showers and family Christmas parties with his very pregnant wife. This double life painted a picture of a man for whom family had become a burdensome chain, and freedom seemed to lie in the most unthinkable of choices. For 4 agonizing months, the mystery persisted, with Lachie's family clinging to hope while public suspicion of Scott intensified. The grim resolution arrived in April 2003, when the tides of the San Francisco Bay delivered a heartbreaking discovery: the bodies of Lachie and her full-term son, Connor, washed ashore almost exactly where Scott had claimed to be fishing. This cruel twist of fate transformed his alibi into a crime scene, solidifying the prosecution's theory. They believed Scott never went fishing that day. Instead, they alleged he murdered Lachie in their home, transported her body in his truck, and used homemade concrete anchors to weight her down in the deep, cold waters of the bay, attempting to erase his sins beneath the waves. The subsequent media circus of a trial laid bare the entire case. The prosecution portrayed Scott as a narcissistic and cold-blooded sociopath who calculatedly eliminated his family to escape the responsibilities of fatherhood and marriage. They presented a compelling mosaic of circumstantial evidence: the affair, the countless lies, his suspiciously calm behavior, and the financial motives. In defense, his attorneys argued he was a victim of a biased investigation and trial by media, pointing to the notable lack of direct forensic evidence like blood or DNA in his home or boat. Despite the defense's efforts, the jury delivered a swift and decisive guilty verdict on the counts of murder, and Scott Peterson was sentenced to death, a fate met with stunned silence by the defendant and roaring approval from a nation that had followed every twist. Though his death sentence was later overturned due to judicial error in jury selection, Scott Peterson remains behind bars, now serving a life sentence without the possibility of parole. The case endures as one of the most haunting and divisive in American true crime history, a stark reminder that the most terrifying monsters are not strangers, but those who share our homes and our lives. The story of Lachie and Connor is a permanent testament to a life stolen into justice that, for many, remains forever intertwined with unsettling doubt.